In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to add stars to your sky. I really love this effect. I think it can really add something just extra to your landscape. So here we go. So I'm going to start by going to my ellipse tool. Again, sometimes it's hidden inside other tools, so if you don't see the ellipse, you might see the rectangle or the polygon or the star tool or whatever. Just go ahead and click, right click on it and go to the ellipse tool. Now I know the obvious one would be to click on the star tool, but we're going to make our stars look a little bit different. So for this, we're going to go to the ellipse tool. I'm going to go ahead and draw a circle. Now it doesn't have to be a very big circle because eventually we're actually going to shrink it down and make it even smaller. Then I'm going to go up to my effects menu, or you can do this at the top by clicking on effects. Or you can come over to the right side of your screen like I've done in the previous tutorials. And we're going to go to where it says Distort and Transform, and I'm going to click on Pucker and Bloat. I'm going to change my slider to say -60% and click OK. Now if you zoom in on your star by pressing Command+ on your keyboard, you're going to notice that the star has now become sort of this like inverted circle. So I'm going to shrink it down even more because stars are really supposed to be very tiny. So shrink it down as small as I can get it. Now this is important because you have to, zoom in order to shrink it down small enough but still be able to see and work with it. All right, so I think that's pretty good. Now I'm going to take this shape that I've created and I'm going to turn it into sort of a spray paint so that I can sprinkle my whole sky with these stars. So to do this, I'm going to go up to my window and I'm going to open up my symbols panel. Once I open up my symbols panel, I'm going to click on the new symbols icon, which is a square with a little corner folded up. And I'm going to call this new symbol Night Star. Now, you can just call it star, it doesn't matter. I just happen to already have one saved as star, so I had to give it a slightly different title. Go ahead and click OK. At this point, you can actually delete this shape, so go ahead and click delete because it's now saved in my little symbols panel. I can go ahead and also close out this panel because, again, I'm actually already done with it. And then I'm going to zoom back out by pressing Command- on my keyboard. Then I'm going to go over to my Tools panel and I'm going to find my shape sprayer or my symbol sprayer. So right now it happens to be hidden under my the symbol screen tool. So I'm going to right click and click on symbol sprayer tool. You can also press Shift S on your keyboard and that'll take you to the tool as well. You can see it looks just like a little spray can, and I'm just going to randomly spray this shape all over my sky. You can fill your sky up as much as you want, strategically placing the stars wherever you like, kind of up and around my moon. If you go over the tops of your sun or your moon, that's okay. I'll show you how to place them in the background later in the tutorial. Okay, when you're all done, go ahead and release your mouse. I think I have a few more that I want to add in here. Okay, so I like the way that looks, but the stars are also sort of vivid, and it's kind of a dead giveaway that it's a pattern because they're all the same size and the same color. So to help sort of randomize this a little bit more, I'm going to go back to my symbols tool and I'm going to right click on it and switch from my symbol sprayer to my symbol size tool. Now using the size tool, I can randomly click on some of the stars and it will take them from being tiny to being big. And it's, not a major effect, it's pretty subtle. On the flip side, if I hold down my Option key, if I click on some of the stars, it'll actually make them smaller. So again, sort of pick random ones. The idea is you want to make some look big, some look small, and really randomize the way your sky looks even further. Okay, when you're done with this step, the third step is just sort of randomize the coloring so that some look brighter, some look duller. So it looks like some of the stars are closer and some are further away. So to do this again, I'm going to go back to the Symbols tool and right click on it. And I'm going to go ahead and this time switch to the Symbol Stainer tool. And just sort of randomly going over my sky, I'm going to pick some stars to look more dull, some stars to look brighter. The changes are very subtle, but it makes a big difference when you see your final product. All right, when you're all done, we're going to do one final thing to make the stars look not so crazy. I'm going to come over to the opacity on the right side of my screen and turn it down. I mean, you can play around with it. I think I'm going to set mine right about 40%. And then because I want to make sure that my stars are in fact behind my sun and my moon, the last thing I'm going to do is go to Arrange. And it's just going to take a second while my computer loads. I'm going to go to Arrange and then click Send Backward. And that'll put it behind my moon. And then I'm going to click Arrange, Send Backward one more time. And let's see, not quite there yet. I might have to do this a few times. There we go. Now they're one too far. There we go. Now everything's behind my my sun and my moon, and that's it. Go up to Select, click Deselect, and now enjoy your starry night sky.